palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. WebMD, I have cancer! How many, by show of hands, have Googled a symptom that you had at some point of time, thinking you had that terrible disease? Maybe. Yeah, that's what the human mind does, goes to the extreme when given poor information. Poor information leads to poor guidance. Now, this is particularly important in the field of mental health, as 42.5 million adults suffer from mental illness every year. That's 1 out of every 6. In these rows, right here in the middle, 2 of you in each row struggle with a mental illness. Do we know who you are? Now, for patients, caretakers, and loved ones, being knowledgeable is key, while lack thereof renders a sense of being powerless. No matter the disease, the age, the ethnicity, the situation. That's why I say that good information is the start of good care. I'm going to talk about 3 things: problem, situation, and solution. I'm going to start with situation. Imagine that you are a 6-year-old child going into foster care. Now, the average foster child goes into 12 homes during their time in foster care. Many of them have been traumatized, and sometimes the trauma continues. Mental health information is lost, under-prioritized, or unidentified. That is because there is so many needs of the child to assess and only one overworked social worker to handle it all. I was a guardian ad litem during my time in graduate school. A guardian ad litem is a court-appointed guardian, basically the voice of the child. Parents, the system, they all have a representative. You're the voice of the child. Now, I had a heads up on finding information for my children because I studied clinical psychology. But what about the many guardians that do not? Or how about the million of dementia caretakers? Or loved ones who care for patients with depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder. This is why I say that good information is the start of good care. Problems, well, one problem is that mental health is stigmatized. We still struggle to validate a disorder that we cannot necessarily see a physical manifestation of. What we cannot see, what we cannot touch, we assign a lower status to than, let's say, a broken arm. Now, I Googled broken arm, and I got 619 million hits, or links, if you will. First link I clicked on provided me with extensive information about broken arms. And it also referred me to a specialist in my immediate area to treat my broken arm. I Googled bipolar disorder. I received 12% of those links. I clicked on the first link, second link, third link, and there was some general information about bipolar disorder, tucked neatly in between pharmaceutical advertising. In addition to that, there was no links that provided me with any type of referral to a specialist in my immediate area. Now, lack of information is not just due to stigmatization. It's also due to poor mental health advocacy. For example, I bet you all know the difference between an internist and a cardiologist. But how many of you know a difference between a clinical psychologist and a clinical neuropsychologist? One common issue that I see as a doctor is that the patient has been treated by the wrong discipline and needing additional care, second opinion. The referral chain can be quite long, expensive, both financially and emotionally. And just imagine having a vasectomy in your dentist's office. Another problem is technology is just not there for mental health the way it is for physical health. For example, certain types of technology like portal technology or electronic medical records aid both physicians and clinicians. However, other types of technology like real-time locating servicing or quality, reliable information lack in mental health. If you were to find a support group, try to find a support group for your sister who struggles with phobia, or maybe your son had a concussion and you need to find a concussion clinic that is actually run by a neurologist or a neuropsychologist, where would you go? Who would you turn to? Now, some of you may say, well, that's really the doctor's job to provide me this information and refer me to where I need to go. And I agree, but most doctors are, or not all doctors, are created equal. That's why I say that good information is the start of good care. So what's the solution? Well, we need to demand quality information. And with quality information, I mean information that is written by experts in the mental health field. You may not know that when you Google a disorder, most of the web search engines, websites, the information is written by medical journalists or non-mental health experts. That's why I say that good information is the start of good care. My call to action is that make that good information accessible to everyone. Because 42.5 million adults and their loved ones depend on it. Thank you.